There are too many clowns in Ghana now. A lot of them are even the media people. And people are scared to talk about them. Because they say, oh, this guy, he works with so and so media house. They have the microphone. So if you're not careful, they will destroy you. They will break you down. If not, next time when you get a case, they will also destroy you. So they have become all hypocrites. They cannot criticize Nanado because they are scared of Nanado. They are scared of the NPP. And anytime they want to even criticize Nanado, they want to bring in John Mahama. And I should keep quiet and look on for this stupid conduct. And when you say, they say you are using foul language. But their conduct is foul. Their conduct is also foul. So what do? I am serving notice. If you think you are ready to come after John Dramani Mahama, if you come after him, we would also go after you. All right? So just know that when you prepare your notes to come after John Mahama, we will also come after you 1,000 folds. Right? We will come after you 1,000 folds, and we will no longer, you see, that attitude of, oh, Munja, it has cost us so much that you said so many things. The names you call John Dramani Mahama. Today, how many of you are able to be bold enough to call Nanado those same names and even worse? Nanado is a disaster. I am sorry, but Nanado as president is looking as though we have voted for a lunatic to be our president. That is how it looks like. Because he's not in tune. He's not in touch with the base. He's not in touch with the country. He doesn't know what we are feeling. What is debt to GDP today? What is the price of petrol? How much is the dollar to the cedi or the cedi to the dollar? What is the inflation rate? What is the inflation rate? What is the unemployment statistics? What is it telling us from the Ghana Statistical Service about unemployment? A lot has gone down. We are sinking deeper, and the earlier everybody begins to talk, the better. If you say you are not concerned, then say you are not concerned. Don't you go to the market to buy? Don't you go to the market to buy food? Do they say, oh, you don't do politics, you don't talk about Nanado, you don't talk about John Mahama, so you will get it at a different rate? No. Look, and most of these journalists, I don't want to mention names, but we know them. Either they are observing table manners, or they have become so hypocritical that at the slightest, they can't say that Nanado is a disaster. Nanado is a failure. Nanado is useless. Nanado is worthless. They can't say it. Some will say, these people are making John Mahama look like a saint. Really? You can't be bold enough to say that Nanado is making John Mahama look like a saint? Why? Look at the criminality ongoing. For the first time in the history of Ghana, we are ready to condemn a dead body, a dead person, in the name of Sir John. When he died, everybody was praising him and all that. Now the wheel is out, you see? So we have now realized for the first time we are gradually getting angry because the politician is taking everybody for granted. Now, people are even cursing Sir John in his grave. Yes, that is how it's supposed to be. Senior Apanga Lamtig, I greet you. Michael Aristotle, I greet you also. And Obido. Mukhtar Umar, Samira, and Alhaji Abdul Latif. Look, the first thing I want to say, like I'm talking about, is the journalists. Are you sure that the same measuring standard you use for John Dramani Mahama is the same you are using for Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo? John Mahama didn't even promise heaven on earth. Nanado promised heaven on this earth. But you are not able to be bold enough because you are scared that they will treat you like Ahmed Swale. They will treat you like Caleb Kuda. They will treat you like the Adeti guy. They will treat you like someone else. So you are scared. That is how hypocritical you have become. You have thrown to the dogs the ethics of journalism, objective journalism. Nobody is saying that you should take part. When you are objective and professional, you will discharge your duty without anybody calling you belonging or pointing at you that you belong to this party or the other. William Manson. Look, as a country, we are not angry enough. And you are less than 30, you are less than 40, you are 25, and you are screaming, saying all manner of things based on tribal bigotry. And this old man who is in extra time of his life is destroying the whole country. Even forest reserves are being sold. Only God knows if they have not sold the Dodowa forest. Only God knows if they have not sold other reserves that we have, the Ramsar sites, etc. And you want us to keep quiet over this nonsense. Look at the majority of the appointees of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. They are 50s, 60s, 70s. If I'm not mistaken, some of them are even using their football ages, and therefore they are 80 years. And we are supposed to be happy about this nonsense going on. And then another one I want to talk about quickly. The journalists, let's leave them. They are scared now. But Kandapa, is he a sick minister? Suddenly, Kandapa, the National Security Minister, appoints Empress Gifty, a gospel artist, as what? A terrorism ambassador, or is it counter-terrorism ambassador? What kind of joke has this country turned into? We have learned professors, UN diplomats, ex-servicemen, people who have served to the highest rank in the military, people who have attended services, who have attended trainings, who understand what it means to mention security and terrorism. And none of those people qualify, according to Kandapa, as an ambassador. But it is Empress what? Gifty, a gospel artist who is on a mission to just be injecting things into her body to change her body to look some way. What a joke of a country have we've become. If I were Hobson Adoye, I learned Empress Gifty is Hobson Adoye's wife. If I were Hobson Adoye, I will start investigating if there's any relationship between my wife and Kandapa, because the last time we saw Kandapa, he was dancing in the pajamas in front of a lady. So what could be the unique relationship between Kandapa and this young woman that is somebody's wife, that he suddenly feels that Empress Gifty should be a counter-terrorism or terrorism ambassador? Really? This is why I keep saying that, well, maybe we are not angry enough as a people. Maybe we are not angry enough as a people. But it is getting worse. Look, I'm telling you, brace yourselves. In the next year, a country that is taking about 8 million every month from road tolls has decided to cancel road tolls, and yet crying that we need more money. Are they not sick? Are they not sick? As we speak, cars drive on our roads from Cote d'Ivoire, from Burkina Faso, from Niger, from Mali, Togo, Benin, Nigeria. They all use our roads. They don't pay a peso. So they spoil our roads, and our government comes to us and say, what? Pay e-levy so that I'll use it to fix your roads. Are they not sick? And we as a people, are we also not too gullible? Are we not so vulnerable that we have allowed these people? By now, we should begin to be calling ourselves to be massing up on the streets, at the Independence Square, at venues, in order to show them that we are opposed to this kind of oppressive regime. Salute to the organizers of Arise Ghana. Mensa Thompson, Bobia Ansah, Lester Well, Comrade Sami Jamfi, etc. So today, Empress Gifty is Ghana's anti-terrorism or counter-terrorism or terrorism ambassador. Does that woman even understand what it means when we say terrorism? Does she even know what it means? What exactly is wrong with us? And we look on for Nana Addo to be destroying this country. All things being equal, this man has about 5 years or 10 years maximum left on his watch to die. That is just the truth. And he's mortgaging our future. And we're supposed to be quiet and say, hey, don't say, you don't say this to an elderly person. Meanwhile, the elderly person is not respecting himself. He is not respecting us. Oh, God. And I want to say another thing, a second one. I want to say a very good afternoon to Sarah Adjoa-Safo, the NPP MP for Domiko Abenya. Now, let me say this. Some of you, these media guys, are becoming very stupid. That is just the word to use for you. Very stupid, glorified fools. Many of you are questioning Adjoa-Safo. that she doesn't have the moral fortitude, she doesn't have the moral grounds to hold herself up as an MP and even as a minister, because the taxpayers' money is still used to pay her, and she's gone out there. And if you are a nurse and your superior tells you to come to work, even if your son is sick, you will quickly rush to work. Yes, that is true. But Adwoa Safo is not a nurse. She is not a doctor. She's not a teacher. She finds herself in the legislature where the laws are relaxed a bit, where she has the laxity or the luxury to go to work or not to go to work. And if so far Adwoa Safo has not been at work as gender minister for 8 months, do you and I think that we should be blaming Adwoa Safo? Should we not be blaming the person who appointed her? Should we not be questioning the president? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you appointed Adwoa Safo as Minister of Gender. She has been absent from her post. Why is she still at post? Why is that position still vacant? Sorry. Why don't we tell her to resign? Why don't you tell her to resign? Or why don't you fire her? So the person who appointed her in the name of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, all of you have deliberately chosen not to talk about that, and you're rather attacking an innocent Adwoa Safo, who feels that as a mother, her child is not well and she needs to attend to the child somewhere. Which of you watching me or listening will say that if your child is not well, you will not have time for that child? If all things being equal, you have that time at your disposal. Well, I would Kwame Mauli. Yeah, I will not be surprised if Kandapa is having some adult relationship with Empress Gifty, because if I'm Hobson, I should be thinking about that. And like I'm saying, so Nana Addo is not able to sack Adwoa Safo. You remember there was some time I was on TV3 with Pius Enam Hajide when I got wing of information that Adwoa Safo was no longer at post. Pius said that, oh, she's been coming to work. The next day, 24 hours, we got to know that she has not been coming to work. Up to date. So is it that the people that Nana Addo talked of as the men, we have the men, are even finished? So there are no persons, and you are a young man watching me, and when they are doing this, then you come attacking and insulting. Does it look like when you insult, it is written on my face? If nothing at all, I look better than most of you. Look, today, and let me say good afternoon to one Gilfred Esiama who works with the CDD. Gilfred, you are one of those hypocrites. Gilfred Esiama, I repeat, you are one of those hypocrites. If you people are working as think tanks and you don't think well, then I'm sorry. Gilfred, you were also saying that Adwoa Safo doesn't have the moral fortitude. She should have done the honorable thing by resigning. The person who appointed her is not in the right frame of mind to realize that Adwoa's conduct is affecting the productivity of his government. Nana Addo is not seeing that. So it has to take you to rather be on the back of Adwoa Safo. Are you sick? Are you sick? What is wrong with some of you? Think tanks, my foot. It also explains a lot to many that education is not the end after all. It's not all there is. Adwoa Safo is not reporting to work. The president, does the president have any special relationship with Adwoa Safo that he is scared of Adwoa Safo? That he cannot fire her? We need to be questioning the president. That is he aware that Adwoa Safo as gender minister has been away for this long, and he has even appointed a caretaker minister to hold the position instead for Adwoa Safo until she comes back. And that is why she had the effrontery to say that she's not been fired, she knows whatever, with that funny accent. She said when she comes back, she'll resume work as a minister. Adwoa Safo knows something that you and I do not know. There's a relationship between Adwoa Safo and the president. Probably we should be questioning that. That is my assumption. That is my assumption. There is, or there must be, some kind of special relationship between the president and the president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Adwoa Safo, that even not Rebecca, the first lady, can actually sever that relationship. And we must question that. Nana Addo, who promised us that he will not practice family and friends government. Today, what are we seeing? You see the presidential staffers, how much they are earning per annum. This is how they are running Ghana down, and we are not supposed to talk about it because these people, they are beyond reproach. Right? Look, Anyways, I don't wish to go much. I don't wish to talk too much. But I know that I've been away from a live stream for some time. I'll be making time to be doing this often. And we'll see. Yo, Maisha, Med, you said you were asking what's our MPs doing about Ajwasafo. Our MPs have petitioned Parliament, the Speaker, and Speaker has referred the matter to the Privileges Committee that have written to the 3 MPs who have absented themselves beyond their allowable time, and they are supposed to meet the committee. Star, Messi, Sawali Razak, Tanko Yusuf. You see, some of these things, when you listen to them, you ask yourself, does the NPP think we are fools? Do they think we are stupid? Do they think we are not reasonable? Do they think of us? Do they respect us as Ghanaians at all? Were they not the same people we sat in the same classrooms with? What made them so superior and we inferior? You can't even understand it. Empress Gifty is now what? Ambassador for terrorism. Kandapa is the one appointing her. Everybody is doing whatever they want. Everybody is doing whatever they like. When you ask them, they say free SHS. Everything, the response is free SHS. A government that has been in power for 6 years is still complaining about their predecessor. Everything is still John Mahama to them. And let me make this clarification. The NPP, I never knew they were this shallow. They blame everything now on Russian invasion of Ukraine and COVID-19. Let me break it down. Did the Russians start invading Ukraine just recently, just this February? How do I call it? Did they start invading Ukraine long ago? No. Russia started invading Ukraine in February 22nd or so. I've forgotten the date. Before then, the city was taking a nosedive. So when fuel price continues to rise, yes, it continues to rise. But the reason it is more worrying and disturbing and affecting us Ghanaians more is because the cedi is depreciating against the dollar. The cedi is depreciating against the pound. The cedi is depreciating against the euro. The cedi is depreciating against all its major foreign partners or foreign currencies. That is why. Ruben Tete, yeah. Bright Mighty Tree, Richard Kogbo, Sani Al Hassan. The comedy is just too much. Look, I'm not scared to hide the fact that some of us at the right time will declare our intentions to contest for national position. And if God wills it, then the NPP will not have it easy. It won't be business as usual. It won't be business as usual. Look at what I petitioned the special prosecutor yesterday. What is happening at NPA? Mustafa Hamid, another motivated criminal. That's what he looks like now, from what is happening there. What is the price of cement? What is the price of just a tin of milk, Milo, yogurt, soap? Basic things, prices of basic things are on the rise. The very conditions that existed in the 70s that resulted in Jerry Rawlings, Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings, calling out his men from the barracks onto the streets and into government are the very conditions we are witnessing today. But as for our military, they have now become toothless bulldogs who have just compromised their integrity for a regime. So there's nothing with them in terms of protecting the constitution. We have left everything to nothing but Nanado and his NPP to define. Look, I don't want to bore you. I don't want to continue for long. It's a hot afternoon here. I want to remind you again that there's this gentleman every one of you should follow on Facebook, or these two gentlemen. Seth Doe. Seth, S-E-T-H, and Doe is D-O-E, Seth Doe. And then Albert Wotogui. Albert Wotogui is Wotogui, W-O-T-O-R-G-B-U-I. Anything finance, economy, They would explain it to you in detail. And they always do that on their pages on Facebook. We should follow them so we learn more as well. See? Anyways. Sometimes we have to blame ourselves also for where we have found ourselves. But at the same time, we need to be grateful to God, because had Ghanaians not elected Nana Addo as president, the NPP would have been standing on rooftops, on mountain tops, everywhere, loudly shouting that, oh, if you had voted for Nana Addo, by now every road in Ghana would have been done. By now, the price of petrol would have been one peswa per liter. This is where we are today. Today, Qatar to Accra is 60 cities. Queen Sheba, Rose Shatta, Ibrahim Kabori, Maisha Med, Kavege Richard, Rose Shatta, good afternoon. Look, we need to be engaging more. We need to begin to support each other. We don't need to see ourselves as individuals. We must see ourselves as one people. There's only one Ghana we all belong to, you and myself. And we must fight for it. If you cannot be out to speak, support those who will be out to speak. If you cannot be out to walk, support those who can be out to walk. Don't let them ask you for it, but support them when you see them. It inspires them. It challenges them. It motivates them. It encourages them. And when I say them, I am also inclusive. I have had a lot of calls from many of you many times, like yesterday morning, even today. I just called to tell you that thanks for the good job you are doing. That is inspiring enough. Look, we have had enough of this Nana Addo's regime. Can you imagine the next 2 years under his regime? Maybe we should begin to be pouring on the streets so that he will resign. Look at Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, another useless one, and you don't want us to say he's useless. If Bawumia was strong enough to be calling John Mahama incompetent, nodding his head like an agama lizard, empty skull. Today, how much is the dollar to the cedi to the dollar? If that is not uselessness, what is it? Is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia not useless, not worthless, even than the one peso coin? Is he not worthless? Where lies all his economic prowess? Today, where are we? Even if it is COVID and Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a good leader will be able to see us through. If other countries have their inflation low, why is it that ours is not also low? So it's a leadership challenge. FK Esohuma Huna. To get the membership card, you need to reach out to your chairman. But you can send me a message on Facebook and I'll see how to direct you. Look, Delali Jeo. Yeah, the NPA saga is serious. I have petitioned the special prosecutor. It's so sickening. Let me remind you again that Hobson Adoye went to Atebubu Training College with somebody's certificate, and the name on that certificate was Idrisu Yaya. So when he went to the school and he got admission, his father was a police officer at the time. After gaining admission, he wanted to change his name to Hobson Adoye because he knew he went there with a fake certificate. And the management didn't allow him. So after he finished school, then he reverted to using Hobson Adoye again. Such crass criminals who refused to admit that he broke into Sawabrodin's hotel, but later was caught on tape admitting same. Look, they are still blaming John Mahama for everything, and it's funny. 6 years in power. Even by now, you should be comparing your own self to your previous term, your first term. That this is what we did, this is what we didn't do well, this is what we will do based on this. But they are still talking of John Mahama as they are stealing everywhere. Everybody is stealing. Look at the education minister. $1.2 million is sitting in your account since 2020, and you have not been able to even buy textbooks for our schools. And the World Bank is asking you to produce the money. They want evidence, and 2 years now you have not been able to produce that. What does the NPP take us for? Anyways, thank you all so much for this time. I appreciate the moment with you all. Bye-bye.